And now onto our dinosaur of the day, Aristosuchus, a request from PaleoMike716 via our Patreon and Discord. So thank you.
Could also be Aristosuchus, suchus, however you want to do that crocodile suffix.
Good point. So Aristosuchus, or Aristosuchus, was a Coelurosaurian dinosaur that lived in the Early Cretaceous in what is now England, found in the Wealden Group. It had a lot of bird characteristics. It looked similar to Compsognathus, or also known as compys. It was small and carnivorous. It walked on two legs. It had shorter arms and a long tail. It was probably feathered or fuzzy. And it's estimated to be about 6.6 feet or 2 meters long and weigh 66 pounds or 30 kilograms.
That is small, although pretty big compared to a Compsognathus.
True. The holotype of Aristosuchus includes parts of the hip, a femur, and a few vertebrae. Parts of the feet have been found too, possibly from the same animal, and then if that's the case, it would show it had long claws. And it lived in an area with floodplains and rivers. The type species is Aristosuchus pusillus. The genus name Aristosuchus or Aristosuchus means bravest, best, or noblest crocodile.
Oh, wow. That is lofty for such a small animal.
Yeah. And the species name, it's not too lofty. Pusillus means small in Latin.
This is the king of the smalls. Is this another small king going on?
Oh, maybe. It was described in 1876 by Richard Owen. Originally, though, it was named Poekilopleuron pusillus. Richard Owen at first thought that Poekilopleuron was a crocodilian. If you want a refresher on Poekilopleuron, that was our dinosaur of the day back in episode 418. Just real quick, it was a theropod. It lived in the Jurassic with long arms. It was found in what's now France. Owen thought that Aristosuchus was Poekilopleuron based on having a really large cavity in the middle of the vertebrae. But then it got renamed to Aristosuchus by Harry Seeley in 1887, and it was the first small theropod found in its area. It was actually found back in 1866. There's a lot of confusion between Poekilopleuron pusillus, or Aristosuchus, and another dinosaur, Calamaspondylus, a theropod that lived in the early Cretaceous. In 1890, Woodward and Sherburne thought that it was the same specimen as Calamaspondylus oweni. That one was named by Reverend William Fox in 1866. But then after that discovery, a lot of small theropods were found. In 1985, Norman found that Aristosuchus, Calamasaurus, Calamaspondylus, Thecosaurus, and Thecospondylus were all the same, and he classified them as Aristosuchus. Then in 2002, Darren Naish found that Calamaspondylus was named from a different specimen and not the same specimen that Poekilopleuron was named from, based on letters between Richard Owen and Reverend Fox. So what happened? Well, the name Calamaspondylus has been problematic because there wasn't much to the description and of where it was published. It gets more confusing because it's thought that the holotype was the same as the holotype for Aristosuchus. Fox first published on Calamaspondylus back in 1866 in the Athenaeum. It's a magazine and informal publication. And he alluded to the name Calamaspondylus, but he didn't outright write it in a letter to Richard Owen that dates from 1866. Now, technically, it fits the requirements to be a valid name, so Naish accepted it as valid and not a nomen nudum, as many others in the past had seen it. Fox's article was also published in the Geological Magazine in the same year, which led to more confusion. Fox named the species oweni, which apparently Richard Owen approved, and that makes it unlikely that Owen's Poekilopleuron pusillus was a renaming of Calamaspondylus oweni, because why would he take away that name? However, later authors assumed that whatever Fox named was redescribed by Owen in 1876. But then again, Fox thought the fossils were from a dinosaur, which is different from Owen thinking they were from a crocodilian. It's possible that Fox found both specimens, and both were mostly hip bones, and he started writing letters to Owen, and then Owen described the second one as Poekilopleuron pusillus. That seems to be the case in a couple letters that Fox wrote, though it doesn't mention specimen number, so it's hard to know, though he does describe the bones and alludes to the name Calamaspondylus and honors Owen with the species name. The type specimen of Calamaspondylus oweni, unfortunately, is now lost. However, Naish found, based on the description, that it had no unique features, so it's a nomen dubium, though not a nomen nudum. As for Poekilopleuron pusillus / Aristosuchus, Seeley recognized the fossils were from a dinosaur, not a crocodile, and identified it as a theropod. And then Naish found that it was probably a compsognathid and similar to Compsognathus. Although, are compsognathids real? We're going to discuss that in a future bonus episode on our Patreon.
It's a good teaser.
Another reason to join.